Lionel's here. Today we're going to look at my pre-war O-gauge Lionel crane. Believe it or not, this is O-gauge. It is not standard gauge, but it is very, very large. When I bought it at a flea market, it was missing parts that I had to order. You can see it has two replacement brake turning wheels on the back. They don't match the silver one though, but they're nice and I'm happy with them. It has the old-fashioned latch couplers, which I'm not particularly partial to because they're very hard to couple and uncouple. It would help if you had 10 fingers on each hand. This crane came in two color schemes, as you can see. This one's pretty dirty and dusty. It hasn't been really looked at yet. But I like this color scheme better. It's Mojave with a maroon roof and green boom, whereas this is yellow and red with a green boom. I think the Mojave maroon combination looks a lot better. This one has the box couplers, which are superior couplers, but they will couple with the older latch style couplers so you can mix your pre-war cars with either type coupler, but they don't couple to a hook type coupler. Lionel made pre-war cabooses in more than one size. This is the small size, this is the large size. They did the same thing with standard gauge. They had a smaller size and they had a larger size. The poor kids could buy the winter line, then they could move up to the 3/16 scale lithograph cars, or if their parents made more money, they could move up to this size, the 600 series. And as the family's wealth progressed, they could move up to the 800 series. Finally, they could go to the 500 series standard gauge cars or the larger ones. I'll show you some of those in a minute. This is the early post-war Lionel diesel switch engine. It has a die-cast base, none of that stamped sheet metal stuff. It has magnet traction, a single motor. It pulls great. Somewhere along the line, this one picked up some paint blemishes, which I can live with because I only paid about $35 for it. I got it at a train show up in Albany, Georgia years ago. They no longer have those train shows in Albany. As a matter of fact, as everybody knows, I don't know if we'll ever again have train shows. I guess that's a little pessimistic, but we'll see. But as you can see, it has pretty good pulling power. It is slipping the wheels. I can take any train with that little diesel engine. Now we can compare that Chesapeake and Ohio diesel switcher with the later type diesel switcher that Lionel made. This one's Jersey Central. It has a stamped sheet base, not die cast, and a dummy, no, it doesn't have a dummy. Yeah, it has a dummy coupler at one end, but it is self-centering. At the other end, it has an operating coupler. This is towards the end of the Lionel production when they started to get into trouble. And I think around 1969 is when they gave up the ghost and were acquired at least the rights to manufacture Lionel trains. To use that name was in a lot of the dies were acquired by Fundamentions division of MPC. We'll see if it can pull this big train. I do think it has magnet traction, but I haven't tested it and I don't quite remember, but I think it does. Well, there it goes, folks. up here in the dark, we have the large standard gauge 200 series crane with gondola. That's the large size pre-war Lionel standard gauge trains, the 200 series. Here we have the 200 series caboose, which I restored, next to the 500 series non-restored caboose. That's a 517, that's a 217. You can see the difference in size. Here's a 500 series cattle car, a flat car, a searchlight car, a box car, and a number 10E, which means it has a reverse unit that's electromagnetic. These are all standard gauge pre-war, the small size stuff. Over here we saw the number 8 previously with its matching passenger cars, which I restored. I'm very pleased with how they turned out. I especially like the window trim. That's reproduction, but that's how Lionel did it. And we have over here passenger cars that go with my number 10. This is the 339, beautiful window trim. 341, the railway mail car. And this is the number 10. Mechanical reverse unit right there. It's not electric, or it'd be 10E. Below it we have a 259 pre-war Lionel O-gauge steam engine, which is about the size of a Mark steam engine from that era, maybe a little bigger.